Welcome back to Weems Motor Co. Got something back in the shop, and we're gonna get this thing ready for the track. Stick around. Alright guys, so everybody has been annoying me, saying, how fast does that motorcycle go? Well, this motorcycle, we built it for Born Free 13, and we ended up winning best competition with it. It is an alcohol-fueled, mechanically fuel-injected, supercharged 1956 Triumph drag bike that I built in homage of my dad. Now, currently it was set up for the show circuit, had everything going for it, winning a lot of awards, but now it's time to take it off the show circuit and get it ready for the drag strip. That being said, a few things do have to change. That Springer front end had to come off, and the supercharger and all of this, we got to make some chain guards, and there's a few other little things that we've got to do along the way. You can see we already have a new front end on there, thanks to a person who is standing right here in the garage, and that person being my brother, the other Weems. So, if you guys don't know, Michael, my brother, he is the rider. He is the one who races the bikes, at least the drag bikes. He's not gonna race the Dolly Mongrel unless he pays me a lot of money, so. Maybe we'll let him ride it around a little bit. But the plan today is to get 56 ready, knock out a few of these tasks. So let's go grab our checklist and talk about what we gotta do on this. Ready to go to work?
Yes.
He's ready to go to work. He's ready to.
I've been ready. 2 years.
2 years he's been waiting to race this bike. So it's been too long. Let's get to work. Alright, so here is our list of items that we have to knock out. When I say we, I'm probably just going to supervise and make him do all the work since he didn't do anything.
That's normal.
He didn't do anything building the bike, so I was like, why not do some of the stuff? But we got 16 items on here. A few things that we've already knocked out, a few things that Michael knocked out was, number one, sourcing that front end. So that front end is a Harley Davidson front end, narrow glide, which, whatever. It's actually gonna work really great for the application. So we had to do some modifications, getting the stem and the neck and everything to work onto the frame. We didn't want to do too much stuff to the frame. However, buying the clip-ons, getting the wheel, that front wheel is actually an Invader front wheel with a built-in drum brake that I had just in case I couldn't find a spool hub. So we were able to source that. It was already powder coated, had everything prepped and ready to go. Made the wheel spacers, all that stuff. A few items at the top of the list, wheel spacers, front brake cable, and front brakes. We knocked those out already. So something we had to do, because you got to have front brakes to be able to get into that burnout pit, lock that front brake so we can do the burnouts, get that rear tire hot and ready to go. So he rebuilt the front end, new seals, all of that stuff. So the front end's knocked out. And what we're going to do is work our way from the front of the motorcycle back. First task we need to do is wire the kill switch, but I'm probably going to hold off to that because that's only 2 wires. We need to make some ground here. We do need to get the clutch cable made, throttle cable hooked up, fuel line hooked up, remove the center stand because we don't need a center stand drag racing. That was something for show. And then make a drain plug for the oil sump and make an oil fee, blah, blah, blah. List 16 items that we're gonna knock out. So first thing I'm gonna do, get these cables straightened out. We're gonna knock out that clutch cable, knock out that throttle cable so we can start working our way back. At some point we gotta fire up the welder, the sander, and yeah, this beautiful paint job. A few little places we're gonna have to adjust some things, but it's a race bike now.
Yeah.
It's not a show bike.
That's right.
It won enough trophies. Now let's go win some racing trophies.
That's right.
All right, let's get to work. so moving right along, super easy. Got all of our controls are working. We got a clutch, got a front brake, we got a throttle cable. You excited about that?
Yes.
Yes, excited.
Yeah.
So now we got to get that center stand off of there, and then on the bottom of that seat post where I turned the backbone of the frame into the oil tank, we got to make a drain plug for the bottom there, and then we're gonna have to do a oil feed from the side of the frame. So get the center stand off, and then we get to break out sanders and grinders and things like that. You excited, Michael?
Very.
Yay. You didn't pay for the paint job, so I don't want to hear it. I'm the one that paid for the paint job twice. Twice I painted this bike, and if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you go back in the video and watch what happened when we left Born Free, Texas. Not a good day. All right, back to work. Let's do it. So rolling pretty smoothly, making things happen really quickly. Easy little small things that we had to address. You might be asking yourself, why did you put the plug there? Why'd you have to do all that tap? Why wasn't it that way before? Well, that used to actually be the oil feed for the engine, and I knew that that location may be a little fragile place because that would be the lowest point of the motorcycle. God forbid something hit the bottom and shear off your oil line. So decided to make that the drain instead. So what we're gonna have to do from there is actually grind off the paint on the side of the down tube, and we're gonna do a feed down there by that where that filter went up inside. So in order to get to that location, we're gonna have to pull the gearbox cluster out of the transmission, which is fine. I, want to go back in there and inspect, just make sure everything's fine, and do a little bit of adjustments to get it ready for the track. So, gonna pull the cluster out of the gearbox, get down to that frame. We're gonna have to make a bung so that we can weld that onto the frame and get our oil feed going. So, this part of the process is a little bit more tedious, so I'm just gonna set the camera up from an angle and hit fast forward, so you guys stick around. How does it feel drilling holes into a frame?
It's not mine. I just ride it.
Checking things off the list, making things happen, but when you're just starting to make progress, there's always a problem that happen, and that problem has to be this guy, Jack.
I'm a problem?
You're a problem. Well, the problem is you continue to work on your motorcycle,
no,
and you don't know what you're doing, and you jack it up. Jack has a jacked up Triumph because who worked on it?
I did.
Exactly. So he's coming to me while I'm trying to get done with 56, and he's like, hey, how do I fix this? And I'm like, you fix it by not screwing it up the first time, Jack.
I gotta know what the first time, how to fix it the first time to make it right the first time.
And you didn't call me and ask me.
I did call you. I talked to you this morning. You told me what to do.
Yeah,
I said, work.
And I said, adjust your clutches. And how did you adjust your clutches? Wrong. He adjusted them wrong. It's okay, Jack. We'll get there, buddy. We'll get there. All right, so making things happen on 56. Now we need to get over, address a few things inside that gearbox. Make sure that it is good to go, that it shifts through all those gears properly, nice and neat, and do some little touch-up paint. And then we need to address an issue with the rear tire rubbing on the swing arm. So more work to do. Continuing on, let's make it happen. so not bad. We went from 16 down to 6 task items.
We got 10 done today.
Got 10 things done. Next thing we're going to be doing is dishing that swing arm. You up for doing that tonight, or you want to call it a day and do that tomorrow?
Sure, call.
Got some other welding and stuff to do tomorrow. I think I would like to get it cut at least tonight.
Yeah.
And then tacked into place. He's scared of cutting and welding. It's not that hard, it's just stuff. Alright, so here's the deal. So the tire was super close to the swing arm, touching it, just kissing it a little bit, depending on what pressure you had in it. Definitely not conducive for the racetrack, so I'm gonna have to cut that, dish it out, re-weld a new plate in behind it so it reinforces it, and strengthen it back up so we can have the clearance we need. Yada yada yada. Cutting up show bikes, make them into race bikes. Thank you guys for hanging out. So while we're pausing to get ready to do that, why don't you guys jump down in the comments and let me know which one of us is the more attractive one. Who do you think is the older one? I know I have more gray hair, but we're gonna get to work while you're doing that. Excited to cut your motorcycle?
No, I'm not.
Cut it anyway.
I'm very nervous and scared. I feel like Jack right now.
It's okay. Just cut it. We can always weld it back together. Swing arm dished, got it done, had to weld on fresh paint. It's always fun. I think we're gonna call it a day. It's dark outside, so we only have 5 items left.
Only 5.
5 items, and then we're gonna start this motorcycle so all you guys watching the video can hear what this sounds like. He's never heard it, I've heard it. It's gonna be a good time. So tomorrow, 5 items, starting the bike. Hang out. Well, here we are, day 2, getting back on the bike. In all actuality, we got a little bit more done on it. We went ahead and made some rear struts because I thought safer is better. We don't want anything bending, twisting back there. So we got that knocked out. And now what we're gonna be doing is building the chain guard for the supercharger and going all the way back to chain guard for the rear chain. It's part of the regulations for the class that we are going to be racing this motorcycle in. So with that, we made some bungs, gonna basically lay some strap on there, heat it up, and kind of just go around so we have clearance around all of those points. It's gonna be a pretty simple process here. Let's see. You ready to do this, Michael?
Yeah, well, I'm ready.
All right, let's heat, bend, and weld. You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. So we're bending up some pieces. Michael using the torch, making some nice little aluminum 90-degree bends so that we can mount the rear chain guard on here. While he's heating that up, we'll let you guys hang out for a moment and then we'll get this thing welded up. He's doing all right. All right, so we got our 2 little brackets made out of 1-inch wide 1/4 inch thick aluminum, and then we got the same kind of material. Michael's got it in his hand back there that we're using for the chain guard. Show them where it goes. Right
here.
Right through there. All right, just like that, rides up. And then we're gonna take a bracket coming off this front portion up here, and then another bracket coming off of where we built these struts going up to hold that into place. Nice and strong, should be good to go. We gotta get some measurements and get this thing put on there so that we can get done, man. We are cooking our way through our list. So chain guard rear, working on that now. We did the supercharged chain guard already, and we did the struts. So really that leaves only, after this, 2.5 things to do, and then we could fire this thing up. So thank you guys for hanging out this video so far. Just a little bit more and we'll get this thing fired up. Stick around. Somebody's tired.
Somebody's been doing all the work.
Yep. And it ain't me, it's him.
Yep. It's all me.
Doing all the work. He did this work. Now we just got to pull it off, and you gonna weld it? No, I guess I got to do this work. So, all right, welding aluminum. So pretty much got everything knocked off on the list except for wiring up that magneto kill switch. We could essentially start the motorcycle now, but we would have to kill it down on the side of the magneto. It's not the best thing, so we're gonna go ahead and wire that magneto kill switch up. While I'm doing that, Michael's gonna throw all of the fluids in there, get the oil in, get the gearbox fluid in there, and get everything ready to get this thing fired up. So as you can tell, it's dark out, so yeah, we might get this thing fired up tonight. Fingers crossed. Let's get this thing wired in. Got the wiring done, got the magneto kill switch up there done, all of it done. Even got the jets into the carburetor, got the oil in the tank, got the gearbox fluid in there, got it all ready to fire up. You ready, Michael?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited.
I know you're excited, and that's why we're gonna wait till tomorrow morning to start this motorcycle.
Why?
Because I am hungry and it's late. Man. And it's ready.
We can eat fumes.
I'm ready to go to bed. So we're gonna catch this tomorrow morning first thing. Stick around. Alright, so we got it off the lift. We're getting it ready to fire up. This motorcycle hasn't run probably getting close to 2 years since the last time I started it up. We went through, made sure all the fluids were good, got the supercharger filled up, got the gearbox, got the engine oil, all the stuff taken care of so that now we can throw this thing up and run it through the cycle. So what we've done is remove the spark plugs, and the first process is we're going to put it in gear and just let it run through, make sure on the rollers that it is pumping oil through the system. That's really important. After we make sure that it is pumping oil, then we're going to check for spark, making sure that it's getting spark and that our cutoff switch is working, because the last thing we want is the motorcycle to run and not be able to shut it off. That would not be a good thing. Once we know that we've got spark and we're able to shut that spark off, then we throw fuel to it and we start the freaking motorcycle. So, you ready for this? Are you ready for this? People have been asking for so long for this video, and I'm tired of you asking. Yes, you're gonna see this motorcycle run just in a few seconds. So hang out. Oh yeah, she's parking like a mofo. We have spark, we have oil, we have fuel in the bike, and now we need to fire it up. You nervous, Michael?
Yes.
Why are you nervous?
Man, cuz 2 years waiting.
Hey, you didn't do anything on this motorcycle.
It's like Christmas.
It's like Christmas. Santa Claus is coming down the chimney right now, and we're gonna fire this bike up. Let's do it! Well, I'm pretty stoked. How are you? Stoked. That thing runs like it's got some balls, so. I knew it would. I built the thing. We got a few little issues to track down before we get it out to the track. Got a couple oil leaks. Nothing big, nothing that really concerns me. So, the next video on this motorcycle, you will see actually this motorcycle going down the drag strip, and that is going to be super cool because I'm going to be piloting it. I'm going to take it down the track the first time, probably blow the engine up. That's my plan.
Oh.
I was just trying to do it right then when it was on the lift to save him all the joy of racing this motorcycle. So, with that, guys, thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you guys are pretty stoked about hearing that thing run. I know people have been asking about it. Well, now you got it. Now you got it is a running, riding motorcycle. It's not just a show bike. I built it to race. So, with that, thank you guys for hanging out. If you are new around here, jump down and hit that subscribe button. If you really like the video, hit that thumbs up, turn those notifications on, and let everyone know what's going on right here.
Weems Motor Co.
Nut